Kyiv confirms Russian troops executed 2 Ukrainian soldiers upon surrender.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Strategic Committee of the Armed Forces of Ukraine has confirmed the authenticity of the footage showing Russian troops gunning down 2 Ukrainian soldiers upon surrender. Today, a video of the execution by Russian servicemen of Ukrainian soldiers who surrendered as prisoners appeared online. This is another violation of the Geneva Conventions and disrespect for international humanitarian law, he wrote on Telegram. Lubinets said the Ukrainian soldiers were disarmed, and their hands were raised. They did not pose any threat. The Russian side had to capture them and give them the status of prisoners of war. Vitaly Barabash, the head of the Avdiivka city-state administration, said the Ukrainian defense forces have reportedly eliminated the Russian military involved in the shooting of unarmed Ukrainian soldiers soon following the incident. During a telethon on Sunday, December 3, Barabash explained that 2 Ukrainian soldiers surrendered to the Russians due to an ammunition shortage. While the footage has not been independently verified, it would not be the first example of Russian troops killing unarmed Ukrainian soldiers. In April, video emerged of Russian troops beheading a Ukrainian soldier.
This post received a score of 11,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
So you are saying that you don't want the enemy to surrender?
From what I've been reading, Russia hasn't been doing POW exchanges for a while. Perhaps Russia has concluded it just is not in their favor when, presumably, most POWs captured by Ukraine are untrained and unmotivated, whereas the POWs captured by Russia are trained and motivated. Fodder for soldiers does not sound like a good trade from their perspective.
Russia has been forcing the captured Ukrainians into service with the Russian army and sending them to the front in Ukraine, which is also illegal. There was a write-up in here not long ago about it.
Ah yes, a wall of people ready to betray you at any time and willing to die for Ukraine.
Unfortunately, Ukraine is going to have a hard time identifying them to avoid hitting them with artillery, and Russia probably gives them little to no ammo.
No weapons of any kind. Maybe sticks that look like axe. Really, Ukraine should figure out a way for captured soldiers to ID themselves on drone recon. Walking in a certain pattern, for example. It might save some lives, though if the Russians figure it out they might use it to their advantage. There isn't really a good solution for this.
Murdered for defending their homes and country. Just horrible. RIP. Tactical and strategic mistake. An enemy that knows you offer no quarter will fight harder, and to the bitter end. Slava Ukraini. It seems they ran out of ammo. It's hard to imagine what to do in that situation. Save the last bullet for yourself? Banzai charge?
There was an article a few days ago about a guy that called in an artillery strike on himself as they were closing in. He actually unexpectedly managed to crawl to safety though.
He survived? Just how? Well, I hope he'll get some time of rest after this.
Yeah, it's not that unusual if you're in a fortified position. Artillery really isn't that accurate and typically blasts outward rather than down. That being said, artillery in the open still has the highest body count throughout all wars combined. That's why it's the king of battle.
Greater than that being said, artillery in the open still has the highest body count throughout all wars combined. Perhaps if just considering the last century or so of wars and just deaths directly attributed to battle. World War I was the first war where disease and famine wasn't the primary killer of troops and civilians.
Russia isn't recruiting the best and brightest. Most of the time it's some poor dirt farmer's kid that only has access to propaganda. We've known since Julius Caesar's time that executing people and salting the earth tells people there is zero reason to ever admit defeat or give reliable information.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.